There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding Lacey Evans, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's new with the Judgment Day, John Cena, and much more. Let's start things off with one of the more cryptic stories of the week, and that's everything regarding Lacey Evans and her apparent WWE status. Lacey Evans was having quite the amazing run in WWE back in 2021. She was involved in a massive storyline with Charlotte Flair and Ric Flair at the time. And reports have claimed that if it wasn't for Lacey's pregnancy, WWE was allegedly getting ready to have Lacey versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's title to take place at WrestleMania 37. So Lacey was truly at the top of her game at the time and was about to have this big WrestleMania title match against Charlotte Flair. So considering how highly the company appeared to be on Lacey before her pregnancy, there was a decent amount of hype and fan interest to see what WWE does with Lacey when she returns to the company. And if you've been watching WWE over the last few years, then you know exactly how that went. Lacey's return was teased and hinted at with several vignettes for SmackDown. She appears as a babyface on SmackDown, but then suddenly gets traded to Raw, where she turned heel at, and then got shifted back over to SmackDown. So it was just an absolute nightmare because it seemed like management and creative just had no idea what to do with Lacey and kept changing their minds. She was repackaged and swapped between brands numerous amounts of times between 2022 and 2023. Before vanishing completely from WWE television. Well, reports have been quiet about Lacey Evans over the last few months, but Lacey basically put herself into the headlines with some very vague and cryptic tweets. Lacey took to Twitter recently to post a GIF that had the caption of, "How many days left?" On top of that tweet, Lacey Evans also changed all of her social media handles from WWE-related handles to her real name. The new social media handles aren't that big of a deal. There's no rule that says you have to have a WWE-related handle when you're with the company. Tons of active superstars go by their real names for their social media handles. But the thing that has everyone talking is that tweet from her being eager about counting down days. Lacey added zero context to the tweet, but fans are wondering if Lacey's referring to a potential non-compete clause. When superstars get released, they're often hit with a non-compete clause of a certain length that prevents them from appearing in any other promotion. So fans are wondering if that's what Lacey's referring to, how she can't wait, and how she's counting down the days. No one knows what Lacey's tweet was about, but it definitely caught the attention of the community there. The Judgment Day story continued this week with JD McDonagh. The Judgment Day without Finn Balor opened up Raw and gave their usual Raw opening promo that we see quite often from them. They acknowledged that Finn Balor wasn't there with them and how he should be there, which led to JD making his entrance. JD praised the Judgment Day by calling them the most dominant faction and said that he didn't mean any disrespect towards them. JD told them not to worry about Cody and Sami because Finn and himself would be taking care of them. But Rhea snapped back at him and said that they don't take orders from people outside the group. JD said he was simply delivering a message, and Rhea told him to go back to Finn and tell him that they need to talk. So it looks like JD is already being used as Finn's messenger. Finn even came out to try and help out JD with Sami Zayn, but that didn't work out so well. Then we fast forward later on in the night and we see Finn and Damian arguing with each other again, and JD even stops by, and the Judgment Day all get on the same page again. Which brings us to the main event of Raw between Cody Rhodes and Finn Balor. Finn's bad luck continued as Damian Priest slid the briefcase to him, but it went through his legs and in the hands of Cody Rhodes, who used it on Finn and won the match. So it was looking like it was going to be another bad week for the Judgment Day, but they all jumped Cody Rhodes after the match. Sami Zayn would come out to try to make the save, but JD McDonagh was right behind Sami Zayn and stopped him from causing any trouble to the Judgment Day. So the Judgment Day turns the bad night into a good night and happily celebrates with each other in the ring, while JD looks on from ringside. The Judgment Day is truly one of the greatest groups going in WWE, but fans have noticed a few repetitive things in their story and usage. Some fans have pointed out that it feels like the Judgment Day opens up and closes every single episode of Raw. Fans also pointed out that the group has been going back and forth between all being on the same page and Finn being on the outside looking in. And that's all very true, but hopefully their story stays going forward and makes some progress with JD McDonagh's role now growing in the group. JD is not an official member of the Judgment Day, but we're to assume that what he did in the closing moments of Raw on August 14th will obviously give him a lot of points with the group. If it wasn't for JD making the save and stopping Sami Zayn, the Judgment Day probably would have retreated and looked weak. So the fact that the Judgment Day was able to spin their night in a positive direction was mostly thanks to JD. So that may be the story going forward. Obviously, Finn Balor thinks highly of JD and believes in him, but it's the rest of the Judgment Day that's been refusing to let him in. So we'll see how that may change if JD keeps coming in clutch for the Judgment Day. Fans have already suggested that JD would be the perfect fit for the Judgment Day and could be the main brains for the group and help them plan out everything perfectly. With the ongoing strike in Hollywood with the writers and actors, wrestling fans have wondered if Hollywood WWE stars, such as The Rock, John Cena, Batista, and others, could make some more WWE appearances due to the extra free time they now have on their schedules. But recent reports claim that even some WWE appearances from these prominent Hollywood stars may be frowned upon by everyone in the strike, since it still counts as taking part in an entertainment program. This was a topic that AJ Mendez even discussed, because she's in full support of the strikes, being a writer and actor herself, but she was still recently taking part in WOW Wrestling as a commentator and producer while the strike was going on. But AJ said that everything she was doing in WOW Wrestling was approved and didn't go against the strike. So it's a bit unclear what would be allowed and what wouldn't be allowed if these Hollywood stars were to appear on WWE television during the Hollywood strike. But reports claim that they may all play it safe and stay completely away from WWE television while it's still going on. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.